Good morning, everybody in Nikken land. Thank you for joining us today. Just to give you notice, this is something that is not presented by Nikken Corporate. This is a presentation by independent Nikken consultants and fans of Nikken. So today we're going to be going through a product showcase or a wellness preview. And I'm going to share my screen with you. And we'll get started. So Nikken is all about living a life in balance. Through Nikken, we discover active wellness and start living active wellness, and then we have a choice to share active wellness as well. So that's one thing I have greatly benefited from in Nikken. I forgot to tell you, I'm Molly Simpson, and I have used the Nikken technologies for 18 years with great benefits. And my family, I have 5 children, 2 of which have joined me now in the Nikken business, 2 adult children and 3 younger children. I was a massage therapist for 20 years and loved what I was able to do as a massage therapist as far as blessing other people's lives, but it gave me some limitations. I was only helping people when my hands were on them, and a lot of times what I would do for them would only last maybe a couple days, and then they'd come back the next week with the same problem all over again. And they'd pay me again, send them out the door. And so I really felt limited in helping them create a life of balance and helping them actually, I like to call it proactive wellness, make those choices about their wellness and take action on it. So I really liked what Nikken has done for me there. So everybody experiences what we call the compound effect. The daily choices we make and the habits we create determine our quality of life. Through small choices over time and with consistency, we can make a radical difference, whether that be positive or negative. You can see on the timeline on the slide that, the positive effect could be humans being more. If you're making small, good choices that improve your life over time, you can be more. But if you're making choices that are damaging or hurting your body or some other aspect of your life, you become a human under stress. And whatever choices we make consistently create our lifestyle. So these choices affect several areas of our life, including our income, our health, our relationships, our happiness, and our success. Here's some facts that you may not be aware of. Stress is one of the top killers in our society today. It's a silent killer. It causes heart disease, diabetes, fatigue, allergies, obesity, and many people, stress can cause sleeplessness. So 7 out of 10 Americans have sleeping problems. That's a crazy amount, 70%. One poor night's sleep drops your immune system by 60% immediately. We have a culture of overeating and eating garbage, basically. You can see on the magazine cover there from US News, Supersize America, how our way of life is killing us. In America, 78 million adults and 12 million children are obese. So we have a problem. Now, what about water? We know we're all supposed to drink a lot of water, but there's over 260 contaminants found in the nation's tap water, and more than half have no safety standards. So what about bottled water? Bottled water was found to contain over 24,000 chemicals, including endocrine disruptors. But how good is our water? We know we're supposed to drink a lot of it, but it sounds like most of it's toxic to our system. Air pollution. Now, people, if they don't believe that's an issue, all you have to do is drive into a big city and you can see the problem. I remember driving into Vegas frequently, and there was just this haze of thick, soupy smoke. And I almost felt like I wanted to hold my breath. But so many premature deaths are linked to the air pollution problem, according to the World Health Organization. So this is the new childhood in America. You can take a look at that list. Learning disabilities, asthma, ADHD, autism, all kinds of problems. And over half of the children have chronic illness or overweight. This is the new normal in our country. Are you concerned yet? Because if you're not, then you're not paying attention. So what's the answer? We can be healthy by choice, not by chance. And that takes some education. That's one of the things I love about Nikken is it's basically a formal education on how to take care of yourself, self-care. And all of my children, whether they be 20 or whether they be 9, know how to take care of themselves because of what we've learned through this amazing company. Active wellness is an active process through which people become aware of and make choices toward a more successful existence. That's from the National Wellness Institute. We teach people how to be more. It's all about humans being more. Here's our holistic approach to life. This is Nikken's philosophy. We call it the 5 pillars of health. Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy family, healthy society, and healthy finances. We strive to create balance in each of those 5 pillars. I strive each day to put some focus on each of those 5 pillars and get as close to balance as I can. It's not a perfect world, and I'm not a perfect person, but I feel like I'm getting better and better at getting greater balance in these 5 pillars. And it's not just about a healthy body. Nikken's approach is creating a healthy lifestyle through the 5 pillars of health. It's really humans being more in all aspects of life. So how do we help with the healthy body pillar, which also impacts all of the other pillars? I used to hear someone say, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. So if mom's not feeling good, the whole family suffers. And it affects their financial well-being. It affects her ability to contribute to society. It really affects all of the 5 pillars. So let's get feeling good physically, and that will boost all the other 5 pillars. So Nikken's approach is a 5-stage approach as well. We deal in the areas of sleep, water, food, light, and air. And that's one thing I noticed as a massage therapist. My limitations were just working on muscles, and sometimes maybe a little bit of mental help too, because I became a therapist along with the massage. I was a really good listener, and sometimes that would help. But I would notice that if they had a headache, sometimes a massage would be what they needed, and they'd go home feeling great, and I'd never see them again. But most often, they would come back the next week with a headache again. And I would start getting really curious, asking, okay, what kind of water do you drink? How much do you drink? What kind of pillow do you sleep on? How is the quality of your sleep? What kind of air are you breathing on a consistent basis? What's your diet like? What kind of lighting are you working with? And just go through all of those pillars of health to understand what might be causing the problem from their environment. We have more environmental diseases than any other kind now. We used to be ridden with infectious disease, things like smallpox or measles or chickenpox, and you hardly ever hear of those anymore. But instead you hear of all kinds of environmental issues like diabetes, cancer, strokes, a lot of stress-induced problems, and autoimmune problems. So coming in and changing the environment is really where the solutions are going to be found. And our environment we call a Nikken wellness home. It's truly a holistic approach to health. We protect our home inside and out. So now we're talking about the Nikken products. It's science that replicates nature. I like to explain it as something that God provided for us out in the world, but so many of us don't get outside for the majority of the day and soak up the earth's natural energies. And so we need supplementation of those energies. Nikken provides you with our leading edge, science-based products and technologies, helping people make sustainable changes that improve lives. I love the simplicity of this. If you breathe, drink, sleep, walk, sit, you're going to benefit from a Nikken Wellness Home. How many of you have gotten a exercise machine that you're good at using for maybe a week or two, but then over time it becomes a clothes hanger or some apparatus that just kind of is in the way? And we all have good intentions, but we're human, and human nature is that we don't do a lot extra in our life. So many people get gym memberships and then use it for a week or two, and because we're so busy, our schedules are so busy. So I love that part of Nikken, that it's something just fits into your lifestyle as it is. We have whole food, organic nutrition, and skincare that's amazing. And we're going to go a little bit more into detail on a few of these products in just a minute. Our environment's vital. The air we breathe, the water we drink, the lighting that we sit under, and the water we shower in. Rest and relaxation, like we talked about, some of those supplemental energies that we get from the earth, and sleep on. Oh, it's amazing how impactful. So my introduction to Nikken came through the sleep system. I was a young mom that was exhausted all the time. I would lay in bed for 12 to 14 hours a night and still just be totally unable to cope. I was so exhausted. So my first night in the sleep system, I fell asleep and woke up 6 hours later in the same position I'd fallen asleep. I thought the alarm clock was broken because I felt fantastic. I had energy. I was amazed. So my body was really deficient in those energies. And the sleep system consists of a mattress topper, a pillow, and a comforter that I like to call the magic eraser. You may go to bed feeling a little stressed, tense, and hurting, and you climb in that sleep system and wake up in the morning and it's magically been erased. It's just amazing. That was my experience. My husband took a little longer to see the benefits, and it just depends on your body. Where your body's most out of balance, you will notice the benefits more quickly depending on where you're most out of balance. There are some people that notice a more significant benefit from the water system initially, some that notice a more significant benefit from the insoles or from the nutrition. It just depends on your body and what your body's needing. So I love that Nikken covers all the bases. Like I talked about earlier, my clients that had headaches and would come in, I didn't know if it was dehydration or malnutrition or toxic fumes they were breathing or bad lighting or a bad pillow or stress, or they had food sensitivities. Who knows? There's hundreds of different reasons why people can have a headache. But when you put their body in an environment that supports the proper function of their body, they start to feel better. It's just common sense. So I love that aspect of Nikken. So our goal, I'm on a crusade to make every home a wellness home for society's health and well-being. We have a lot of people that endorse us, a lot of companies and well-known, renowned societies that endorse us and our products because they understand we come from a natural perspective and we want to help bodies be better, including children. So now you have a choice. Here's some of your Nikken choices. I encourage you, whether you choose to do anything with the business side of things or not, at least become a customer. There's some loyalty programs where you can get a significant discount on your products. And so talk to whoever invited you to listen to this today and find out more about that. Find out about what something simple you can do today that can make a huge impact on the rest of your life. And if it's something that you find, like I did, that you couldn't be quiet about because it made such a difference for you, then you might want to consider making a business out of it. It's one of the most rewarding things I have ever done. And I love what I do. So I wanted to invite someone near and dear to my heart, my future son-in-law here, Braden Passy, to share a little bit about his experience. He's new to the world of Nikken. Of course, my daughter, those of you who know my daughter, know that anyone in her path is going to hear about it. But
it's persuasive.
But Braden, do you want to share a little bit about what you were experiencing before you started using the Nikken products?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I don't want to go into like too great of detail about like my past health and stuff, but when I was about 14, I was allergic to adrenaline, and my adrenal glands were overreacting. And so that just caused like a bunch of other side effects in my body, which made it so I had lots of digestive issues and lots of just stomach aches and had really bad migraines and all that. So that was really fun to deal with through my teen years. And then I spent some time overseas in the South Pacific, eating very different food and living off of very different conditions and really bad water. And so when I came back to the US, I had to transition to all that. And so when I came into contact with Molly and Haley, I was very sick, unhealthy, poor little boy, if you would say. Would you agree, Molly?
Yeah. Well, maybe unhealthy, but you weren't a sad, poor little boy.
Well, I wasn't sad, but I didn't feel the best, so I wasn't healthy.
Right, there you go.
So when I started using the products, the first thing that they recommended was the KVB, the Vital Balance, which is just a shake. And I remember very vividly my first day drinking that. My stomach was just like churning and like making all these noises. I was like, is this normal? Like, is this supposed to be doing this? And Haley, my fiance, she's just like, oh, it's just like, it's detoxing you. It's getting rid of all the junk that's been making you feel terrible. And so you're going to get rid of it all. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And I'm proud to say that I like feel 100%. Like I have never felt so great in my life. I've been using the KVB as well as drinking the water. And both of those combined have just like changed my life. It's been wonderful.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Braden. Thank you. I learned some new things about you today, but I'm glad it worked out. What else have you been using that you've noticed has helpful, and what other areas?
Okay, some other products I've used the duct tape, which is just like you guys' sport tape that you'll see athletes use and stuff. This is I'm using this because of another accident that happened in my early teen years. I hit my ribs really hard and I shattered my muscle, not my bone, but my muscle exploded because of the force of the impact. And so I just kind of like shrugged it off. I was like, okay, well, it'll get better. It never got better. This happened when I was like 13. I'll be 21 next month. I'm just barely getting relief from this very long time wound of mine. So I just had to put the tape right on it and I don't feel anything. Like I just feel good. It's wonderful. Another product I use is the Power Band. Like I said, with my other illness, I used to get really bad migraines. I haven't gotten a single migraine since I started wearing this thing. I also sleep better. So that's awesome. Those are some other things I've been using as well.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Well, Braden, I know that you jumped on the bandwagon with Haley as far as the business goes. How do you see that impacting your future life?
Very well. I mean, it's great because like me and her both, like we're so interested in helping people. I think that's really what it is more. I mean, like the financial aid and everything, like that's a bonus. But to me, like it's been helping people, and because like these products have affected my life in such a positive way. I know I'm not the only one, so like I want to be able to help others, and like it's just wonderful to see other people like, oh yeah, like I can sleep now, like I feel good, like I don't always feel sick. And it's like that's just wonderful that we have these opportunity to be able to share with others and get paid to do it. So that's awesome.
That's great. That's awesome. Well, Braden, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I've loved what you've had to share. Those of you who are listening live, there will be a recorded version of this on theroyalalliance.com for about a week. And if you want it to stay on longer, watch it, share it, and it will stay on there as one of the best of the best. And Braden, I think you are one of the best of the best. Thank you so much. And everyone go make it a great day. Let's go change some lives.